There you go.
Memo.
Oh, I guess not.
Yeah. Feel left out. This is. I file a complaint. They're leaving me out. We read them.
Well, we gotta wait. We gotta wait till Amy's ready. Add to a chart.
I'm doing a lot better. today. Yeah, yesterday afternoon, I actually went in my office last night.
Did you
I had been,
fix the hand?
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, it's
Bye.
all in your head.
yeah.
I know.
Oh my God. It feels so good.
Yes, my dear.
Thank
Yeah.
You're getting the right word.
Amy, are we ready?
Ready?
We're ready.
Okay, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amy, did you change the date stamps? It's on our agenda. Yeah, it says change date stamp.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Morning, Geraldine.
We're gonna start with the add-ons first. Did you get
But
that?
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Right.
confusing.
Board of Commissioners approved the August 18th and the August 30th regular meeting minutes.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes,
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Janet, Human Resources. Took my lozenges so I could read for the next half hour.
Oh. Maybe only 25 minutes.
And a half hour.
Yeah, oh, I saw that. There wasn't enough.
I brought cough drops too.
All right, thank you.
Right. I brought my mojo juice. Okay.
We all need that mojo juice.
In accordance with section 305.30 of the Ohio Revised Code, the board's resolution 21-0396, part 9, the Board of Commissioners acknowledge and approve the county administrator's approval to authorize the resignation of Jane Holtman, social worker 3, group homes for Portage County Jobs and Family Services, effective August 20th, 2022.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Board moves to authorize the resignation of Mason Liddick, social worker 3, Portage County Job and Family Services, effective August 16th, 2022.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes,
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
the board authorized the resignation of Duchess Murray, intensive care manager, Portage County Jobs and Family Services, effective August 26th, 2022.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes,
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
the board also authorized a 3-day internal posting of the bargaining position, social worker 3, groups homes, replacing Jane Altman, Portage County Jobs and Family Services, with the external posting if no internal appointment is made.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes,
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
the board authorized a 3-day internal posting of a bargaining position, social worker 3, replacing Mason Liddick, Portage County Jobs and Family Services, with extended posting if no internal appointment is made.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes,
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
board authorized a 3-day internal posting of a bargaining position, intensive care manager, replacing Duchess Murray, Portage County Jobs and Family Services, with an effective posting if no internal appointment is made.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes,
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
board authorized the hire of Diane Limbert, social worker 3, replacing Emily Bartonelli, Portage County Jobs and Family Services. Tentative start date is August 24th, 2022. The Board of Commissioners agrees that this hire is contingent upon the applicant passing pre-employment screening.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Board authorized the resignation of Jacob Moore, Operations Manager, Solid Waste Management District, effective July 15th, 2022.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes,
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
the board authorized the resignation of Richard Krumick, wastewater superintendent, Portage County Water Resources, effective September 16th, 2022.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes,
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
board authorized posting non-bargaining position, water superintendent, Portage County Water Resources, replacing Richard Krumick. The position will be posted internally and externally concurrently until filled.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes,
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
the board moves to approve the anniversary probationary step increases for the following non-bargaining employees. Janine DeLuca, JFS, paralegal, effective August 8th, 2022. Karen Ross, JFS, Executive Assistant, effective August 8th, 2022.
Second,
Roll call.
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes,
Sabrina,
Yes.
Board to authorize and accept the resignation as Allison, where is Alice? Allison Delaney, grant writer for Portage County Commissioners, effective end of business day, September 2nd, 2022.
second,
Roll call.
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes,
Sabrina,
Yes.
Board authorizes the posting of a non-bargaining position, grant writer for the Portage County Board of Commissioners, replacing Allison Deli.
deal,
Deal.
deal,
The position we posted internally, externally, concurrently until filled.
second,
Roll call.
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes,
Sabrina.
Yes.
The board approves the anniversary and probationary step increase for the following non-bargaining employee: Michelle Connor, permit technician 3, building department, effective September 5th, 2022.
second,
Roll call.
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Have a good morning.
Yeah, Janet, anything else?
Anything else?
Well, I think that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
That was
Before I
enough.
start- Before I start coughing.
Joe,
Wait a
you're up.
minute.
You want to do the
Did you, what
discussion?
about, yeah, it's
The
just,
discussion.
talking about that today? It's on the agenda. We'll make sure. I do have a discussion item. Sorry, I didn't
Okay.
realize. There was a question if it should be on or not. I'm getting questions from departments about updates for the COVID guidelines. So I reached out to the health department to see if they had any documents I could send out. And so in your packet, there was just an email from Vicki Lehman of the health department.
Yeah.
She's just saying that they're referring people to the CDC for their recommendations. And then she sent the link, and then she also sent a page, like screenshot of
Mhm.
something from the CDC's website. So I didn't know if you wanted me to forward this out to departments, or just as phone calls come in, maybe just refer them to CDC guidelines. How would
I would go ahead and send it out because COVID is on the rise again, as we know. I would just send it out and save yourself a lot of work, because if you send it out to one, then, just be proactive versus reactive.
Okay, great. I just
And
want to
you know-
confirm.
Janet, this is so different because when I first got it and I talked to Michelle, she said, you isolate for 5 days, and then when you come in, you have to wear a mask for 5 days. I tested positive, and then 10 days later, I tested positive again.
Some people are staying positive for a month or two after.
So,
The guidelines, I listened to the new CDC director, or whatever they call that person. And if you listen to what they've said about how it was handled, she's in agreement that it was handled very wrong. And this is the new variation of a flu. And that's a virus. And
Yeah.
sometimes they hung around for months,
yeah,
Mhm.
and we never took such a drastic action as we're doing it. So I do agree with Sabrina. Just might as well tell everybody this is where it's at, go look at it.
Great, then I will do that then. All right,
and everybody's different,
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah, it's actually a case by case. Mhm, you're absolutely right. All right, great. Then I just want the confirmation.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
Joseph.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you this morning?
Good.
Excellent. All right. Journal entries. In accordance with section 305.30K of the Ohio Revised Code, this board's resolution 21-0396 and this board's resolution 21-0878, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the county administrator's approval to direct the auditor's office to pay and process the August 18th, 2022 and the August 25th, 2022 bills, ACH payments, wires, journal vouchers, and then and nows as applicable, contingent upon the verification of the reports as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
second,
Roll call.
Tony,
Yes,
Vicky,
yes,
Sabrina.
Yes.
board authorized the process of August 18th, 2022 and August 25th, 2022 budget amendments as reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
second,
Roll call.
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky,
yes,
Sabrina.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners moves and signed the satisfaction mortgage for Kid Care LLC for $154,151. Instrument number 200905289 as requested by the Neighborhood Development Services. The document reviewed by the Department of Budget and Finance with no exceptions noted.
second,
Roll call.
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky,
yes,
Sabrina.
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners signed satisfactory mortgage for Robert and Elsa Hall for $12,560. Instrument number volume 1515, page 856-857, as requested by Neighborhood Development Services. The document reviewed by the Department of Budget and Finance with no exceptions noted.
Second,
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes,
Sabrina. Yes.
Board of Commissioners signed satisfaction mortgage for Brenda L. Brennan for $39,805. Instrument number 201514-037, as requested by the Neighborhood Development Services. Document reviewed by Department of Budget and Finance with no exceptions noted.
second,
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes,
Sabrina. Yes.
Board of Commissioners signed the satisfaction mortgage for Alma Corey of $400. Instrument number 201013-900, as requested by Neighborhood Development Services. Document reviewed by the Department of Budget and Finance with no exception noted.
second,
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes,
Sabrina. Yes.
Board of Commissioners signed the subordination mortgage for Denise Ferrari of 2067 Gate Avenue, Streetsboro, Ohio, 44241, instrument number 200725461, as requested by the Neighborhood Development Services. Document reviewed by the Department of Budget and Finance with no exceptions noted.
second,
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes,
Sabrina. Yes.
Board of Commissioners certifies the Portage County Auditor for stormwater user fees.
second,
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes,
Sabrina. Yes.
Board moves to loan from Fund 001 General Fund to Portage County Regional Airport Authority for the purpose of paving the Nanway runway repair.
second,
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes,
Sabrina. Yes.
Board moves to transfer Fund 1001 Certificate of Title Administration to Fund 0001 General Fund.
second,
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina. Yes.
Thanks for coming in, Joe.
Joe tricked us. I thought he got a haircut, but what?
Looks good, looks great.
I
And
know,
I
I
didn't,
like
but-
it better like that.
We're a little bit early. Internal service.
Jobs
Oh,
and family
sorry, sorry.
services. Yeah.
I'm looking at the,
Morning.
okay, it was great, being at that conference, over the week, last week. It was pretty cool. Learned a lot and was confused when I left.
Yeah, there's a lot of information.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
really nice. They do that every year, the focus on children and families.
Yeah.
That
I
was really
know.
nice. I thought. that was-
And you guys, you and me both did an excellent job, reporting and presenting.
Thank you so much.
And I had one of my commissioner colleagues say, I gotta get a hold of, what's your girl's name?
Oh,
Because they want to hear about all the innovative programs, pilot programs you're doing.
oh, nice.
And I gave a shout out yesterday during our not cog meeting about the Bridges program. So
I don't know if all of you know Rebecca Abbott.
No, you're not.
I do.
She's
Hi,
our
Rebecca.
administrator for the Public Assistance Division. So
Okay.
she's got a big division, lots of responsibilities. So I'll start, if you don't mind, with the JFS data report.
Yes.
And I don't think that. I don't think that there's a lot of deviation from May to June. On the first page under childcare, and this is all of Rebecca's wheelhouse here. Under childcare, you see from May to June that there were a few more children that qualified for subsidized childcare. But the
Number
amount
went
of
down.
subsidy reduced, and oftentimes when there's a status in employment, like moving from full-time to part-time, that might be the reduction. So I just wanted to speak to that because that was a bit of a deviation. And then on page 2, as far as the customer service center and the actual client seen in the month of May to June, there was a slight increase. We also announced the back to school voucher program, so we could have seen more traffic in that space. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
How many kids did you do this year?
So I was gonna report out on that
I'm
later, but
sorry.
no, I
No,
can do
you
it now.
can do that
No.
later.
We had 730 applications and we were able to issue 653 vouchers for children. Then we still have 28 yet to pick up. So it was slightly lower than last year, but that's still a lot of families that had need and we were able to help them.
And then were they $75 or $100?
100 this year. Yeah. Yeah, nice. So I'll check that one out. Then on page 3, I didn't see any changes unless you had questions. That's workforce. Other than we did not add our connections program like I thought we were, so that will be on our June report. And page 4 is still workforce data. And then on the bottom of 4 to 5 is child protective services and adult protective services. So it reported out that in June, we had 170 children in our custody, and as of this week, 172. Now we're back to school, though we will expect to see more referrals from teachers and professionals that are going to see the kiddos. So, but we are prepared to meet those needs. And then we did see a slight increase in adult protective services cases assigned. And I did bring an updated acronym sheet, so maybe I should give that, maybe I should give that to you now, just in case you want to reference. but-
Yes, ma'am. Here, I'll just pass them.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's for you. So that is page 5, and then last in human resources on page 6, at the end of June, we had 181 employees. And we're at, as of today, point in time, 189. So unfortunately, we still see a few resignations here and there for various reasons, but we're still by far doing better than we were. So that's the JFS data report. And then I provided you with this huge spreadsheet of our agency goals. It's what we did was we had a mid-year review where all the administrators had to report out where they were. So that's the far right column. So we still have 4.5 months left of the year to accomplish those goals, but I didn't know if you had any questions on this at all. Again, we'll do an end of year, but I just wanted to make sure you had it. You knew we keep it on our radar.
You know what, and I like that you do that because it's good. I mean, it keeps you focused, and I really like that you do that, and you see the dashboard and where you're at, where you need to improve, or if there's issues.
And sometimes we have to abandon goals, sometimes we have to move them forward, and oftentimes we tweak them, but
That's what
Yeah.
goals are for.
it helps an accountability too from management down. So I think they're used to it. Yeah.
I like this as well, because it's nice to see.
Yeah.
Be able to, instead of remembering all the time. go back and look at it.
There was a flyer. Will you pass these out as
Yes,
well?
ma'am.
I'm sorry. There was a flyer in your packet about our fatherhood walk, and it was not updated. So this one is the most updated walk, and we are collaborating with Passages and United Way, and then the State Fatherhood Initiative Program. And there's 2 in that. There's a walk through the Kent City and then Ravenna. So that is, the date was right, Thursday, September 22nd, but it promotes fathers and the lives of their children and healthy families. And so we're excited that we're back on track with this effort.
Awesome.
Yeah. What else did I have? Public Assistance Division. Months ago, we had an outreach come to us from the Akron Canton Food Bank, and they asked about our interest in doing maybe a pop-up food site here at the administration building. And then we circled back to them recently. So it says administration building, but the thought process is that we would look at some outlining areas where maybe individuals and families don't have access to food centers. Yeah, and transportation. So I emailed the Emergency Food and Shelter Board, and we're going to talk more about that. But I think there would be an opportunity for us to maximize that and just have, an outlet for people if they need to supplement their food to be able to drop in somewhere. So looking again, the Wyndhams and outlining areas that might not have lots of resources. So I'll circle back once we solidify a plan on that. And then our new manufacturing next manufacturing internship program. So we're moving into the 5th cohort. This year, we weren't able to do it because the demands in the workforce were so high and people were less interested in credentials programs. More so they were just, employers wanted people to wait.
Warm bodies.
Yeah, warm bodies in the seat. So we're recalibrating, and then January and February, we're going to have our next one. And so as you stated, Commissioner, we were honored to be able to speak at CCAO and highlight our program. It was nice that the state recognized our innovation and asked us to come and speak to other counties. So that was great. And then I also reported out to you on the back to school voucher program. And Child Protective Services, we sent out a request for a proposal for a second vendor to do the visitations, help to supervise visitations for Child Protective Services. And Family and Community Services, who has the contract right now, bid on it again. And so we are not deviating from their contract, but we still need to continue to look at supplemental services.
Mhm.
So we're going to see if we can put out another RFP, and we are making some cold calls to some centers just to see if they're interested in bidding. Because we do need that. Right now, we're still using the annex building and our social workers are supervising visits with their families, but we really would want it to be more polished and have a neutral vendor doing those visits. So if with your support, we'd like to send the RFP out again and see what we can come up with. I know the judge too, with her going into the Riddle block, she offered some space for us, but space isn't the issue as much as we need a provider to step up and help us. So more to come. I just wanted to give that update. And then the group home, Commissioner Bennett, as the president, did get that we were renewed as far as our license is concerned. But in addition, we were also approved as a qualified residential treatment program. So Commissioner Bennett, I guess they're going to send a new letter just saying that, but that's a federal requirement so that any residential programs that have foster youth are able to get reimbursements. They have to have applied to be this qualified residential treatment program. So we have 24-hour nurse access. We have 24/7 clinical support through Pullman. We've had to have all our staff go through trauma training. There's a lots of nuances to get this certification. And so we were approved. So now we're also able to get reimbursement for our kids.
Pretty good.
And then last but not least, I wanted to present to you phase 3 of the Child Care Center update. And again, Rebecca, I invited her to be here because if we move forward in phase 3, this would be under Rebecca's administration. So I just provided you with a 1-page high-level overview. I took the data from the survey we sent to the county departments under your authority, and that little chart gives a picture of those that said, yes, they would use a center if it was opened, or maybe. And that chart indicated that would full-time would represent 14 children and part-time between around 8. So I used the number of 14 full-time kids and 7 part-time kids. And I looked at if we charged $175 a week for full-time and $100 per week for part-time, it would generate about $12,600 a month in payment to us. And so
I have
Wait,
a question,
yes.
Kelly Jo. Is there a breakdown by age group for charge, or this is just a flat, this is what you pay?
flat.
Okay,
And
that's
most
good.
centers, they do.
I know,
But I think we were trying to build this as a perk for employees.
yes,
And so that's kind of where I started.
because I know babies are like 225 plus
yeah.
a week.
And this is a
Yeah.
very tight budget, very, very tight, because you also have to factor in food. But if you're in kind, if in kind, you're providing the facility and the utilities and the maintenance part, it really is the salaries and
Right,
then the food for kids and then any supplemental equipment that we might need. So I'm just being fully transparent. It
Yeah.
would be tight. We spoke to our union and they absolutely support the creation of a childcare position under our union. And then I did do a manager / childcare worker as a dual role, because again, there's not a lot of funds that would come in to have lots of staff.
Right.
So that manager that would bid would also provide childcare. So I believe, and I conferred with Michelle, that it's so a win-win and worth us submitting an application.
I do too, and I'll tell you, as someone that has 4 kids, I remember those days, and this is a long, I mean, my baby's 23.
Yeah.
But with most benefits that we provide our employees, we do not make money from. So as long as we're a break even or a little
right.
ahead, I see this as a huge benefit for recruitment.
Yeah.
And especially in your area, for
Yeah.
people, to have this available.
We would still ask of the board that startup for 50,000, and that might need to be used for some padding as we grow the program. We walked the WIC area and the annex building last week, and we believe that the annex building is more conducive to childcare than the WIC building. The rooms in the WIC building are very choppy and small. The annex building has a number of large spaces where if kids want to ride their tricycles in the winter or whatever. There's very nice large rooms there. So
Good, you just deleted another issue for
Yes,
us, for
yes.
someone else that was interested in WIC, and I'm like, oh no. But
WIC would have been nice as the drive-through. The steps at the annex building might be a challenge, the front steps. And I don't know if we could look to maybe split the steps to do maybe half ramp for people with
Oh, yeah.
strollers and steps.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would be huge modification, but the inside of in the annex building, and I think we could even just use the first floor at this point if we were to do it. But would you agree? Rebecca
Yeah.
walked with
Yeah.
me and we were just looking. So if you're in support of that, we would move forward in that space.
What's the comparison from private daycare to us? We just said 125 per child,
175.
75,
175. What is it on the outside? 2.25, 250?
and it
Depends.
fluctuates and it goes up. Yeah, so it's $50 to $75.
A week.
Yeah, less, but again, this would be flat as
Mhm.
opposed to it deviates.
Yeah, like little babies, which always amazes me because they're the least work. I mean, they
Yeah.
sleep and you change them, they're the most expensive.
Yeah. We did outreach to Hiram, a couple other colleges, and then we would by no means have students be primary caregivers. But we also outreached to Hiram, who has a early childhood program, to see if they would be interested in having their students work with us too. So
Like as an intern?
Yeah,
Is it a
internship
paid
program.
intern Or a,
unpaid, but because they have to have so many hours in
Hours.
early childhood. And Rebecca has a background in childcare from a former job, but she also was over daycare licensing and public assistance. So she has and her team have established relationships with the state on licensing requirements. So our next phase would be create job description and start the licensing process. And just because you get a license doesn't mean you're guaranteed to have to roll it out right away, but I think we'd be willing to move forward if you want us to in that space.
let's talk about the annex. The annex building needs work. So what would we have to do to prepare the annex for this? And when, in your mind, would be ideal to roll this out and to start the childcare center?
I think if we are diligent in our efforts and the state told us 3 to 6 months by the first of the year, I think we could
Oh,
effectively have something available. In my mind, I think what the annex needs is lots of carpet cleaning and fresh paint.
Mm.
I don't think that there's anything that you need outside of that. We'll need a refrigerator in the little break area for storing of food and those things, but paint and carpet cleaning, I
And
think, are just,
possibly ramp.
and the
Yeah.
ramp in the
and
front.
what about the basement? We get flooding in there. There was talks that we would have to eventually
Oh, that I did
dig
know.
that out.
Absolutely.
Remember that?
We have to, and one of the waterproofing companies needs to correct that side of the
Yeah.
building, but that wouldn't concern.
But
them.
Yeah.
yeah,
And we would, I think, again, we would just use the first
Mhm.
floor at this point, because we're gonna start in a small scale
Mhm.
just to see and allow it to grow, but.
and then my next question is like a playground. You know, we have those extra lots that were right outside the WIC. Did you, I mean, that's futuristic, but you know what, you're coming in a winter, come spring, kids are gonna wanna be out. So have you thought about, or what's the requirements for that, for like a playground center?
Not a requirement, but I know Michelle had suggested maybe we look at grant opportunities to do something.
Yeah,
At the very least, I think we would need to start with a fenced area,
That's the-
but you know, the play stuff is not a huge cost. I mean, as long as you have a secure area.
Mhm.
I think, so maybe we can look at that as well as some grant opportunities.
okay. I just wanted to know because, like I said, I know we're gonna pilot it probably in the winter, but
Yeah.
come spring, kids wanna get out.
Absolutely.
And you guys probably wanna do field trips maybe or do something.
Yeah.
Go to Dairy Queen, let Commissioner Bennett know when you're doing that. one. I'll make Dilly bars. No, just kidding.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
So would this be considered one of the innovative projects or innovative? So that potentially would be qualified maybe for some money through the state?
So we can't use any JFS funds to support this at all.
Cause it's not open to the public.
right, we're
I
allowed,
thought we were able to use it for employees.
we can use it for employees. We can't use any of our program dollars
Right.
to supplement. That's why it has to be sustained through. So I don't know, I don't think in JFS world. Well, let me just say this. We did ask for maybe scholarships for JFS staff under child welfare. We haven't heard back.
Okay.
So I think if for JFS staff, if they give some dollars for innovative practices, but it unfortunately puts the other county departments at a deficit if they don't have those dollars tied to them. But we can look, nonetheless, we can look and maybe we can see what, I mean, I think there's grants out there we can. Yeah,
I just thought this popped in, excited to over that.
yeah, yeah.
Me too.
And I'm gonna tell you again, I don't know. You should call the township trustees in Broomfield. They just bought the old kid care center and I think they still had some toys and stuff out there. And they're turning it into a library. So I don't know. I'm just saying, we already have, I didn't know, I'm sorry if I didn't share that with you. A First Christian in Hiram Okay.
had a center in their building and the provider left everything behind.
Oh.
If you were to walk in the annex now, we took everything. Pots and I mean, just, we didn't know if this was gonna go, but we also didn't want it to go wayside. So really, we don't need anything but maybe a few high chairs and things. I mean, they had coat racks and rugs and toys and activity tables and.
I was
stuff.
talking about the outside stuff.
Oh,
'cause they
outside stuff.
Still
What,
had,
what place was that?
it's kid care. It was,
Okay.
but the trustees own it now, so
Okay.
I would call the township trustee and maybe talk to the Parks and Recs or someone. And see, because the library is
outdoor
gonna
stuff.
rent that to open back up the library. But I remember there was all kinds of stuff, so I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's worth checking into
sure
for the
is.
outside part.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you're in support, we'll start the application process and start drafting job descriptions.
Move it forward.
Yeah.
I think we're all-
Huge.
I think this is a big perk though.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, ladies. Nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Joanne. Shannon.
Joanna Dana, where's she at?
She's there.
We're here. Oh, and we got it on.
Okay.
Good morning.
How's everybody today?
Very well.
Feeling better?
I'm on the up.
Yeah, I don't think you sound too good still. Uh,
Well, good news. Kelly Jo is interested in the annex. We were concerned about the WIC splitting the WIC, but she said she thinks the annex would work better.
Great.
That's good.
That would be
Right?
good
I was
because we literally are on top of everybody, each other
like,
down
I
there.
know you are,
so
but I was like.
Good,
They're gonna be.
great.
So that means we can.
Correct.
Now you can spread out. a bit.
Yeah, yeah. And bring the maintenance guys, that everybody will have an area.
And she just wants to.
I know.
There's no control.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah,
Change.
I still have to dress that.
Yes, yeah. And that's,
The mold for the kid.
well, and that,
Okay, come on.
we have the architect working on that,
Okay.
the foundation work and everything,
Yeah, we have
on
that.
there, so that's moving along. It's just not fast enough.
Okay.
Well, the very first thing on the agenda is the prosecutor's telephone system.
Yes.
And honestly, I can't imagine that I still had the paperwork from 2008.
Wow.
So this telephone system that he currently has is actually 14 years old. It is a Cisco system. We were able to procure it off of the state contract, so it didn't have to be bid. And it works off of 7 teleco lines. So what he was asking for is a replacement upgrade of this system, would work on the same lines, and it's, he's got a 36-month. I don't guess I want to call it a lease, but in 36 months, everything could change. We could be answering phones over the computer instead of having instruments, I suppose.
Wow.
So I really don't think it's anything that you shouldn't go for, especially because when I hear IT John say, you know, at any given moment, if something breaks,
Oh, they have
It's
nothing.
we're
done.
doomed, you know, and we can't have one complete office go, you know, down. So if we approve and go forward with this,
Mhm.
then my desire would be with this company that I'm gonna recommend, do a study, not necessarily a study, but do the get the information on all the rest of the county departments. We may want to follow suit, get the Cisco type of phones because they are premier. They're still on a state contract. We don't have to bid that.
Mhm.
But at least we would get the people, the legwork to go to every department to see how they want them to ring.
Right.
Because Michelle would be the best person to attest that every department out there wants it to ring a
Operates
certain way.
differently.
And she did, you know, it
I
was,
thought you said you wanted to do that. yeah?
I did
She
not.
did. She did.
I did not.
yeah, and I don't blame her. So that's what I can tell you about the prosecutor. I mean, I do think that this is, and I think the cost was fine. All right.
Are you gonna
So
call
there's
them?
a resolution, pardon me?
Are you gonna call them, tell them this morning?
You want, I think they're probably listening already.
I think maybe possible.
Yeah,
But
But
did
I
you hear
will.
that? You're getting your new phone.
Yeah.
And it's not the string and the cups I mentioned at the fair.
So now we're ready for, the gang of resolutions.
Guess you had to be there. The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into amendment number 1 with the Portage County Job and Family Services and Northeast Ohio Consortium Council of Governments for Ohio Means Job Center Operation and Adult and Dislocation Worker Services.
Second,
Roll call?
Yes,
yes.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into a subcontract agreement with Portage County Jobs and Family Services and Northeast Ohio Consortium Councils and Governments for Ohio Means Job Center Operating.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into amendment number 2 for the Prevention, Retention and Contingency, PRC, Utility Assistance Services for Portage County Jobs and Family Services and the Community Action Council of Portage County.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into amendment number 2 for the Prevention, Retention and Contingency, PRC, the Legal Services, Portage County Jobs and Family Services and Community Legal Aid Services, Inc.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into amendment number 2 for the Prevention, Retention and Contingency, PRC, Family Support Services for Portage County Jobs and Family Services and Coleman Professional Services, Inc.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Board of Commissioners agrees to enter amendment number 3 with the Title 20 Adult Daycare Services for Portage County with Portage County Jobs and Family Services, Coleman Professional Services, DBA Coleman Adult Services, Day Services.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Board of Commissioners agrees to enter to amend the resolution 22-0491, authorizing to enter into an agreement with Portage County Water Resources and Kimmel Horn and Associates, Inc.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Okay. Then you had the 2 add-ons.
So you've got one more.
Oh, we got one more, the lease for
Amendment
probate.
2.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
sorry. Did I not hear that?
Okay.
Jeez.
Did you hear that already?
No, you did
No,
not.
I thought I did.
I know you. Starting to hear it, then I'm worried.
Yeah,
Board of Commissioners declares the necessity to lease one vehicle for the use by the Portage County Probate Court.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners enters into an agreement between Portage County Commissioners and Technology Management Corporation for the professional information technology and telecommunication consulting services.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes,
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Board of Commissioners enter into the amendment between Portage County Commissioners and the Momentum Telecom for the replacement of prosecutor telephone systems.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes,
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
thank you, ladies. Great to
thank
see
you.
you.
All right, thank you guys. So
Thanks. Bye.
am I good to go to start looking about transferring our over to the WIC side of the
Yes.
things?
Yes.
All right,
Move it forward.
we'll get going with everything.
That looks like a job machine.
She's ready to complete.
Are you
Just-
kidding?
Already done. No, Everything will be.
Every day.
aesthetically pleasing.
Every day she asks, so yeah. All right, thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay,
Hey,
I
Chief.
think the sheriff's out there. Department. We're gonna.
How's everyone doing? Good. How are you?
Look,
this
skinny
morning?
boy, look
Yeah.
at you.
Trying.
Not
Michelle?
the good way, though.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Good.
Dan?
Hey, Dan, come on up.
So, good morning, everyone. Want to try to pass out a couple of these here. All right, there's that one.
You get them out. Pat.
Okay, that one there.
And then- You got it now?
Yep. And then, let's see, Dan. Okay, so, here this morning on, the communication, center proposal. I think that there might have been some, little bit of unclarity as far as the, where we were number wise and kind of the direction where we've basically been looking to get, completed. So what we've got right now is we've got our dispatch center, which has 4 councils in it. And we would like to get to the point where we could expand this to 8. We've had a number of issues as far as the space that we're working in is always difficult in a training situation also because you've basically got full operation of the whole center, but you've got a training that's going on over here, and you can't do that. If a council goes down with 4, we are really in a bind to be able to continue to maintain communication with all the other fire departments. And the areas of responsibility just seem to continue to grow with both call volume and also with the potential of other agencies that are interested to have us dispatch for them. And what I wanted to try to bring, to your attention this morning, I put a couple of diagrams here. So when there's the way that it is basically set up, when there's a 911 call that comes in, let's say in Wyndham, that 911 call comes to us. And we basically take that call because of the way that the direction, and it's something that is pretty much unavoidable. We're the primary, all the areas in blue here, somebody calls on 911, it comes to the sheriff's office first. And then we're transferring to some of these other agencies. We had a situation approximately 3 months ago where 18-year-old had killed his 9-year-old brother in Wyndham.
Yeah.
And we had a situation where the call came into us. We put him on standby because Streetsboro dispatches for the police department there.
Mhm.
So while that happened, he hung up. Then fortunately, our dispatcher had taken enough information, but what it happens is it's basically, 911, what's your emergency? And then he basically will say, well, you need to come over here. And in that situation, he had stated he had killed his brother and I'm going to be outside. You need to come and get me right now. Well, here's the situation. We don't know where he's at. We don't know exactly how he had killed his brother, if there's a firearm involved. At this point, what's the other danger for other residents, people walking around, law enforcement going there. So we transferred him and lost it. Then we finally, he calls back again and we transfer it to Streetsboro. Streetsboro, talks to him. And basically it was all of this time that is lost. So then in that situation, we basically got the call back again, then from Streetsboro to send rescue. The rescue comes through us, or I'm sorry, through Ravenna, and then fire is dispatched through us. So it's like, this is just it's a maze of stuff that is really not benefiting the residents of the county in many instances, but time is life. And the big thing that we're falling behind on is, as people are seeing this and as fire departments also are understanding this more and more, there's the ability that, you know, they would want to, you know, potentially come aboard with us. But with that being said, you know, we've just are at the point where our call volume with what we've got right now coming in, I mean, we're over 6,000 calls larger from January to June from last year's numbers, that we've got 6,000 calls more of service.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. You know, it's not just Portage County, it's across, it's a national situation, you know, the drug cases are just at a staggering height. You know, our suicides are up. Just the violence right now that's just in the communities are just.
Well, the
It's,
overdoses are up too.
yeah. So we're just, it's just a different time and place, and I think that just our whole country is just, you know, it's just a different, we're living in a different time, and
We're in a bad place.
yeah. And unfortunately, you know, when people, you know, become desperate, you know, situations like this happen, and our call volume is up. Our gun confiscations, we are up over 200% in firearms alone. That our evidence room is just, it's just staggering to see how many guns we have, you know, from different crimes, and it's just in our drugs. It's really bad. So, but so that's the 911. As far as all the blue area that you see on the 911 call pattern, somebody calls from 911 in any of those areas, comes to the sheriff's office. The other ones you'll see Aurora, Kent State University, Ravenna, and then Streetsboro. Then for the law enforcement dispatch, if you look at this one, it says LE dispatch, everything in blue. And then also there's going to be an area in here, a majority of this area in the green is also going to be law enforcement dispatch. So this would be all the area that the sheriff's office is responsible for as far as policing. And then on the other map that says fire dispatch, you'll see down below where you'll have all the different color charts, and you'll see what we're dispatching for in fire. Ravenna is in pink, which has a fairly, you know, decent amount of agencies. And then you've got, you know, Kent and Aurora, Streetsboro, Manaway. And so you could see that it's really, the fire part of this is very much broken up, but on the law enforcement side, it's quite spread out. So with that being said, what we're looking at doing is we've got a room that's off of our detective bureau there that we have that would pretty much double the size of space, rather than an area, to be quite honest with you, that's probably, I would say this room is actually bigger than our dispatch center to have on all that equipment and all those councils and stuff. And Tony, I think you've been in there.
Your
before,
dispatch
too.
is about here to
Right,
there.
right.
Not even this.
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
it's about a third of the size. of this
Yeah.
room.
So what about the EOC? Because you're expanding into there, aren't you? Or what are you looking to do there?
So what the plan would be is if this room here would be the perfect size for us to be able to have, as far as a, you know, move forward position, to be able to do that. Our detective bureau is a little bit larger than this, but it's not much larger. The plan would be is to be able to possibly utilize that for some of our investigative bureau, because you would be able to have, you know, like our desks are basically like, there's a desk here, and then basically like where your desk is just the area for this chair, and it just basically goes down, and we've got like 4 desks and 4 desks. You know, just stuffed in there. And, you know, sometimes when you're interviewing, you know, victim or something, there's it's really cramped and difficult. So what we would be able to do is we know that this is the hard work part of being able to get all of the, you know, technological part. Plus the other thing too is from where the EOC room was, there's gonna be additional costs to try to wire that, the wires and everything else. Where for us to connect to our tower, it's literally look out the window and our tower is right there. So it would, you know, economically too, you're gonna save quite a bit and it makes some logistical sense to be able to have that there. So what we basically have is, I gave you guys a couple of the pictures of what, this is what our council is currently, this picture that has, this is a picture that I took. So you have your council, and then you'll have, we have 7 screens, seven monitors right now. We are going to basically have similar type of council. The only thing that we would add would be the 8th screen, which would actually have like the actual, which it becomes like a touch screen to be able to have your actual radio control, and all your button functions are on that screen, so that you can have a little bit more efficiency of time to be able to hit those buttons, to be able to do a transition rather than trying to do it on the other, on the other part of it, you know, through the computer. So I brought a couple of renderings here so that you could see what the monitors would look like. And then also the way that the stations would be laid out. And then what I also did is I showed you a diagram here of what we would have with the 8 stations. And then back here in this section right here would be like a little kitchenette that there's a sink and there's a refrigerator and a microwave, so that everything would basically be right there so that they could just go right there to use that. The other thing that you got to look at is, so we have a situation where if there would be any kind of a failure in Kent or Kent State University, no different than what we would do right now. So if our center goes down, our dispatchers go to Kent State University to dispatch out of there to handle it. And vice versa, we would be the people that would handle for Kent State. They would come to our location. So, you know, let's say there was a bad storm and tornado came through and knocked their tower out. Well, they're going to be able to come to ours. Right now, it's a risk because facility wise, we really don't have that set up that we would be able to have that, you know, safety plan in place to be able to have a facility. Now at Kent State University, when our people do go over there, they have the standby monitors and standby stations for us to be able to use, you know, and we've had this happen. And we just had a situation, how many days ago was that, where we lost the internet for, and I guess IT was working on something. I'm not sure what ended up happening with that, but
Trying to fix an issue and everything kind of broke.
Yeah, so if you go, if that happens at ours, and you go to Kent, how many workstations do they have for our dispatch? We've got 2 or 3 of them going all the time, right? Now, so if you have to say, all right, we're in trouble, we're going to Kent
So
State.
currently Kent has 3, and through the 911 committee, we approved an additional answering position. So we'll have 4 total. That'll help us.
Mhm.
And same, I know the city of Kent likes to go over to Kent State quite often because it's closer,
Mhm.
right? Same thing, city of Kent asked for an additional, so all that's working in the background to kind of help us to be more bad day ready, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and we're also gonna be trying to do the same.
So Ralph, on this drawing, this includes the current dispatch center and then the detective.
no, that would
Is this
just be the
just the
dispatch center.
detective?
Those are the 8 stations.
Okay,
Yep, that's just the one room. Yeah.
yeah, okay. This
Yep.
is just,
Yep, so that would just show you an overall view of the dispatch center with the stations. And the other thing too is like, you know, it's obvious, I mean, we're in a situation where we've been running 4 stations, but to be quite honest with you, with the call volume and the amount of responsibility, we truly should be managing 6 stations on a continuous basis. That would, you know, and you know, and Tony, you know, he spoke with some of our dispatchers also, and you know, we have a situation where you know, it's difficult because sometimes you have a large number of calls that you have multiple dispatchers that are communicating on the same call because it's just a lot of different, you know, we had that shooting there in Randolph, so we're trying to, you know, figure out where is the shooter at, where's the victim at, where, you know, somebody's dispatching squad, somebody's contacting, you know, to gather SWAT to start to respond. There's a whole lot of moving parts that in too many times, and we're seeing it more and more, that it's all hands on deck, but yet the phone doesn't stop ringing for, you know, someone in, you know, in Wyndham that's calling 911 because, you know, they fell off of a ladder and they need a rescue squad. So those calls will still continue to come. It's not that when you're in that situation, you're going to be, you know, that everybody else is going to wait till you get that clear before they call 911. So you know, and it raises a lot of other situations where just there's a lot of pressure on our dispatchers as far as, you know, stress levels of just handling calls. The liability factor of making sure that we have the manpower to manage those calls and manage, you know, to be able to send the correct resources and not be in such a rush that you see 5 other lights on the phone and you've got to get this call just, you know, hung up and gone. So this is going to be a huge plus and a huge, you know, step in the right direction for the county. The other thing is, you know, the equipment, it's, you know, here's the thing, you could buy a radio today and in 5 weeks from now, they're going to have something new, you know, fancier and new and shiny that's going to be better than that. But there is some technology that we have that we can improve with. And we made a huge step with our portables, and that's been a huge help, and we thank you for that. But it's a lot of stuff that we now can also coordinate with the MARC system, with the grants that came over for all the fire departments, that we now will be able to have the ability to communicate with them on a much more efficient manner too. So not to take too much more of the time, but
I'd like to interrupt you for
Yeah.
a second if I can. Dan, how long have you been with Sheriff's Department?
10 years last month.
So as, I mean, as the chief explains this to us, you're the continuity that's been there for a while now. How long have you in your mind, this should have happened, or is it just now that it's needing to happen?
As far as,
That
Getting
you
bigger.
have that you want to upgrade, where it's an upgrade
so like radio upgrades that's been talked about
forever.
downtown for a
Yeah,
while. Because we've been end of life with our current equipment for at least 3 or 4 years. The space is really coming into play. Partly, like the chief said, our calls for service are going up just for the sheriff's office itself. You know, 2 years ago, we opened up the doors to fire and EMS dispatch with
your
hiring
increase,
Garrettsville community. So now we're adding more to the pot. You know, space is needed. I mean, that the room we're in when we started with, you know, some of the older generation dispatchers that have been there, they started out with a card table and some phones in that room.
Wow.
You know, so, and then it's kind of branched off from there, but we're kind of at our peak right now. Like the chief said, we got 3 dispatchers working and we have a trainee. It takes up 4 positions. We have something else that comes in. Where are you gonna put them? We only got the 4, so, expanding is definitely.
So second part of that question is in the past, we've talked about the Ryan space, emergency management services. So what's the plan with that?
Yeah.
We've got this room.
for the investigative bureau.
So the investigator bureau,
Oh,
and
we'll
we
go
would be
there.
able to
Yeah.
expand dispatch
yeah.
or training center on the other side, is what you're
Correct,
saying?
and then we would be able to utilize the other, where the bureau is at right now, that's small, we could put a small training. you know,
Would that
room
be
in
more
there.
conducive to have your detective bureau over there?
Oh, yeah, where the EMA is at.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we could, you know, I mean, they're right on top of each other right now. You know, there's no file cabinets anymore, you know, there's just no space in there.
So we've got EMA, we've talked about at that building, adding on to that building. And then when that's done,
Station
your
30.
detective bureau would be able to
Mhm. Oh,
take
yeah.
that with very little.
And they'll have their own entrance back there.
Yeah.
too.
I mean, it would, you know, it truly would make perfect sense to be able to do that, because it is, and it's just like anything else, as the county grows and, sometimes, the plan, you try to plan for the future, but you don't always hit the mark, and you might have been able to look at it to say, this works now, but what happens 20 years from now? And that's where we're at. I believe the dispatch center was built in 1994,
And the building was 94.
and so we're, 30 years later, and you just, things change and things kind of continue to grow. And I think that we're going to continue to see growth. You're seeing developments of commercial establishments and residences, and the county is only going to start to get larger in the sense of population and need. So we've got to be able to grow with that too, to provide services. But I know that there were some questions as far as the costs and where we were at, and
Yeah.
Absolutely.
so basically, like, this would kind of be like the phase one of this program of being able to do this. And I've outlined stuff I've got a spreadsheet here, and I've got the quote, this quote that's in front of you from Vasu. It's for $694,184.71. So this would include everything, including the furniture for the council, So when I say furniture, these councils are, not just your everyday, go to Factory Direct and buy some tables and put them out there. I mean, they're customized, they're made for the equipment, to hold the equipment. We've got some stuff that we tried to make shift in our current dispatch center that we're trying to reinforce with 2x4s to just keep that equipment from collapsing.
Oh, my.
So this would include the all of that and the radio equipment. I've been working with Joanne as far as trying to get, there's two remaining components. This quote also has on here, you will see that it's got all of the specifics as far as the wiring, the whole tower work, everything else. So it would be this quote in addition to that 97,000. And what's highlighted in yellow is what we would need for phase two. That would be the build out. And I'm working with Joanne on that to be able, what we're going to do is utilize the county's engineer, not the county engineer, but their engineering department to come down there to basically, put together how this is all going to be laid out. And then work with her to utilize some of the county,
Maintenance
contractors and maintenance that would be able to help us with this to be able to figure out exactly what the costs are going to be and where we're going to be as far as, the walls. And we're going to need carpet because of the sound, so that's going to be something. And then I've got on there too, that we're going to have, that we've got one window, which is we would like to keep just because, our dispatchers are basically in this dark room right now. And we got one window, we would want to try to have that where we would have the bulletproof glass and security glass that would just be put in that one window to have some outside light. But other than that, we pretty much there was a question that had come up about the generators. So we have to have somebody do an actual study on our generators that we currently have. We've got
To make
2
sure.
generator units to make sure that the load, if the dispatch center would not cause those generators to go.
Right.
And right now, to be quite honest with you, to try to find contractors and to try to get people committed to give you something, it's like months out. So, we don't know. I can't give you an answer if the generators that we have will suffice, or if this is going to have its own standalone unit. One of the things that everyone has told us with the radio system is there, all this newer technology, the drain is a whole lot less. So the need of power and the need of having something that's just a
More
ridiculously,
efficient.
large unit is not going to be as important and critical for that than you know, because of the efficiency of what these things run. So the costs are not gonna be like, you're not gonna have a generator that you would run a building like this on for this. So
Well,
those
you
are the two
said,
things.
Not to interrupt you, but
Good.
you said that the engineer, I think you mean the building.
Building
department.
department. Yeah,
Okay,
that's what
I
I
was
meant.
gonna say the engineer's not coming out.
Right,
for the-
right. No. Right.
Okay, the building,
Yeah.
okay.
I've spoken a little bit with the major there and possibility for demolition using the trustees.
Yep.
To do.
There's
the
no doubt
demolition
about
and
that.
some
I
of the
mean,
work.
that's what's, that is already been considered and, you know, that's what all of our projects that we do, you know. It really becomes a situation, the only thing we're paying for is material. When they're painting, when they're, you know, that's
They
it.
could rip up
Oh, yeah.
carpet, they can help.
They look like
Oh,
they
yeah.
enjoy those
And,
environments, because when they helped us with the service garage.
and I don't know if you've talked to like, you know, the fair board down at Randolph, but we've had our trustees down at the
Paintings.
fair painting. You know, and I'll tell you, they were just so grateful. They've said, you know, never have they ever had, you know, the cooperation with the sheriff's office and with the, you know, with the trustees and with the fair. We've got a great working relationship, but we're gonna continue to just groom that. And at the end of the day too, you know, not only is it a benefit for all of the, you know, the fair or whoever's receiving these services, because we take our trustees to cemeteries and we're growing that program even more to cutting grass and doing different things. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's also instilling some job skill and mindset to say, hey, you know, there is opportunity here other than sitting in a jail cell. These people, you know, truly leave out of here with the understanding that there's things that they could do and learn. So it's just been a huge help. But as far as with this 100%, and you know, we've got a great program and only continue to grow on that more and more.
Okay,
So at the end of the day, what we would like to do is we would like to get, you know, approval for the ability to get this on order. Because the problem is a supply chain, and they're telling us that it could be up to as far as April, May of next year. If we don't, you know, have this thing in place. Like, we don't feel that it's gonna be here by the end of the year.
Oh, no.
In no way, shape or form. So this would be phase one. And then obviously with the other two items there would be the generator study and the
The radio equipment, the sooner we can get it, we're looking closer to the end of the year
Yep.
before the first.
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, so with the radio equipment, that's on a separate quote, yes?
So the quote you have in front of
Yeah.
you is the quote you've seen before, the 694. I
Yes.
do have the quote stripped. The 200,000 for the furniture is off. I have that.
Okay.
I can provide to you because I think that's where that was the line we were looking
Well,
at.
that was when we were looking into ARPA
Yes.
and we were like, I had a couple different quotes. So just to confirm, does this include furniture? No.
The one in front of you, yes,
All
it does.
inclusive?
Mhm.
Radio is all inclusive.
Radio and furniture.
Yep.
This is from Beth.
That's
Okay.
694.
Yep.
Yes,
correct.
Okay.
and equipment, yeah.
And is this for 8 stations?
Eight
Correct.
stations.
So we're,
Yes.
okay.
So that's the backroom
they-
radio equipment that we have not purchased yet. All the tower works, the brand new coax antennas, all the way up, all the way down. And then your furniture,
So 8 stations. All
8
right.
stations, yes.
And 8 stations at 8 screens per station, which would be 64 monitors.
Or-
monitors, right?
They're the only monitors that are in that quote in front of you are the touch screens.
The
So they're,
additional, yeah.
yes, so.
And the
I mean-
additional would be this number here. And so all of these items that you see here was quoted by the IT to, you know, county IT through Lloyd. So the total would be, so we would have that
690.
694, and then the 97.
Okay, so we
That-
need more than 6, or so about 800,000 approved today.
But didn't you already include this in our ARPA or not?
So we have 500,000 approved in the ARPA, which it was just, you know, radio
It's-
equipment, and I think
Okay,
The
so,
new quote
Sounds
minus the furniture is like 494, so we come right in. I haven't sent you that quote yet, but yes,
I
I just
have
got.
the list here. I have consulates for dispatch, 650,000 in ARPA. Is that?
That was the number that I was given a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, 650.
but initially,
We did 500,000.
500,000 was approved, but that's why we're coming here to, well, the sheriff's department's coming here today to say, hey, an all-inclusive package, this is exactly what I do need. And so instead of the 694, you actually need, I'm gonna say closer to 800,000 for phase one. To be all
Yep, for
inclusive.
phase one, yep.
So we're really looking at an addition of about 300,000.
Well, 650. So do we have 650 set aside? Because I have a list that says 650, Allison. Did we up that or is that?
I don't have it right in front of me, but I do believe I have.
We, so it's 650, we would subtract off of these two totals, correct?
No, so if I'm understanding the question, we've already approved $500,000. The $500,000 is the 650, only $150,000 more.
That was my understanding.
For the consulate.
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
yeah.
The total approved through ARPA right now is 650.
Is it 650?
Yeah.
For the consulate.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I misunderstood. Gotcha.
Okay, so,
Me too.
so that would, that's all right. I got it.
And
So, yeah, so that would leave about 150 more
Mhm.
Yeah.
needed
awesome.
for the construction.
From ARPA.
For whatever
Yeah,
we can
do
get.
we have it in ARPA that we,
The.
I know
the
we have a
memo-
contingency, we're down to about 1 million.
Yeah, the memo that I currently have from Eckler would be for the dispatch center expanding into the EOC.
Mhm.
I don't have a memo from Bricker about dispatch moving to the detective.
Okay, can we follow up on that? Cause
I will work on that. I think although the initial intention was to move over into the EOC, but I think an expansion is an expansion.
From one
So I
side
will
building. to the
rewrite that in order to get the new location
Yeah.
approved. via
we'll need to
ARPA.
get that approved first, yeah.
What I needed on this quote was, especially this is inclusive of furniture, because initially we didn't include all that. Is for them to say that this furniture is specific to the stations. In other words, you can't just go out and buy a cardboard table. You
Yeah.
can't just go and buy a desk, right? It has to
Okay.
be specific to
Specific.
this. You also need we need someone to say that in here.
Okay.
Your person to gave you the quote in order for ARPA to apply.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be
Okay.
difficult because it is, right? They just
Yeah.
need to acknowledge that.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna have to wrap this up though, so we'll have to get that first.
And more.
And then, yeah. I'm not seeing an issue with it,
No-
but
no
we'll
problem.
double check.
So
if
I'll
we
get
get it right.
approval via ARPA as much as we can,
Yeah.
and then we'll come back
Yeah,
with the ARPA approval and we'll go from there.
okay.
Okay, so do you want us to come back on Thursday?
I don't believe.
No,
so.
you don't need to come back. We'll just,
I think everything,
approve it
unless
once.
something weird happens,
Okay,
but
but
it's a.
just to be clear, on this, you had said construction, so that's not correct, because construction the construction will be
Is
the
in
phase
yellow.
two. The construction's gonna be the
oh,
yellow.
the 97,000.
Yeah, so that 150, just to be clear, is not going, so the 150, that additional is gonna give us the councils. And it's gonna give us all of the items that I have.
Yep.
Non-highlighted on that sheet. So those items are what we have from the county IT department with the monitors.
Well, that's
and
what I'm
everything else.
taking. If we
Yeah.
have 650, was that not just take off from the VASU
Yeah, so
quote? So that leaves me about 44 and then you have 97 over here. So
right, but there's no construction costs on that.
no, I'm
Construction would be
aware.
phase
I
two,
see
yeah.
it's all
Okay, because you
zeros.
had said construction. I just wanted to be, clear
That's
that
phase
that
two.
is,
I
yeah,
don't
that would
think I
be.
said
phase-
construction, but that's okay. I saw the 97 over here. And then the 694 here. So if I
Yeah,
do the math,
150,000
we're looking at
ballpark,
150.
yeah.
And then we'll have to revisit once we get the,
Correct.
like you said,
And we'll have that, I'll be presenting that to you soon as we have all of the quotes that come in.
yeah.
We'll have that, and then we're gonna get a couple of people to come in just so that we can check and double check because there's too much of a risk of us making a mistake with the generators. So we're gonna have a couple people to give us a study on that.
And that's
So,
gonna take a while.
yeah, a little bit, but like I said, Joanne, I'll be honest with you, she's on top of it and she's trying her best. It's just. tough
She was
with
also waiting for a
contractors.
sole source letter, which we
Yep.
just received. So we got the sole source letter. And then that would avoid us having to go out for an RFP. So.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no
thank
problem.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We'll get it. And then you also said that you'll take a look and see what we can do with the trustees to help offset
Oh, yeah.
costs. And then
Totally.
if we have available our,
Yeah, the trustees will not, that is not even a question. That will happen.
and you're gonna get with the building department.
Yep, building department.
Okay.
Yep, yep, sounds good. Thank
All
you. Have a
right,
good day,
thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G1, the Board of Commissioners move into executive session to consider employment of public employee.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes,
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
I ask everyone to leave, please. If you could take your belongings with you.
Good morning.
You guys are live.
All right, thank you. I'll make a motion to come out of executive session. Second. Roll call?
Sabrina,
Yes.
Vicky, is
Yes.
there any action?
No action. All right. All right.
I don't know. Maybe to the restroom.
Okay. All right, we're gonna recess into the public hearing. Okay. First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone. And I'd like to introduce to everyone, the Board of Commissioners and our key staff members in presence. We'll start with, I am Sabrina Christian Bennett, Commissioner. We have Commissioner Tony Badalamenti, Commissioner Vicky Klein, County Administrator Michelle Crombie, Solid Waste Management Director Ms. Dawn Collins. We have Portage County Prosecutor's Office Attorney Chris Maduri, and Department of Budget and Financial Management Director Joe Harris. Please make sure you have signed in on the attendance sheet provided as it becomes part of the public record, and silence your cell phone throughout the duration of the public hearing. The Board of County Commissioners of the Portage County Solid Waste Management District will hold 3 public hearings pursuant to section 343.08 of the Ohio Revised Code concerning the standardized rate charge of $5.50 per month for the curbside collection of recyclables for residential properties. The service is provided in accordance with agreements between the legislative authorities of participating political subdivisions and this board. The Portage County Solid Waste Management District is unique from many other solid waste management districts in that the district operates its own collection vehicles to provide curbside services in certain areas of the county. As noted, excuse me, as noted in the Ohio EPA approved solid waste management plan for the county, historically, the district began curbside collection services to fill a service gap where no private sector providers were offering curbside collection. The district offers curbside collection agreements to legislative authorities of participating political subdivisions in the areas of the county for which the district is able to provide such service. As noted in the solid waste management plan, the political subdivisions in the areas of the county where the district is able to provide such service may continue with the district for such services or may seek a private provider. Last fall, the district began offering a new standardized rate agreement to the legislative authorities of participating political subdivisions for the curbside collection of recyclables. The new standardization rate for the curbside service is $5.50 per month. The district has asked the Board of County Commissioners of the Portage County Solid Waste Management District to hold 3 public hearings on the new standardization rate. The 3 public hearings will take place here in the boardroom meeting on the 7th floor of the Portage County Administrative Building located at 449 South Meridian Street, Ravenna, Ohio, 44266 on Thursday, September 1st, 2022, 10:30 a.m., Thursday, September 8th, 2022, 10:30 a.m., and Thursday, September 15th, 2022, 10:30 a.m. This is the first scheduled public hearing of 3. Notice of the public hearing was published in the Record Courier newspaper on August 11th, 18th, and 25th, 2022. At this time, Director Collins will provide a brief comment concerning the district and the standardization rate.
Hi.
Hi.
So Ohio solid waste districts were established to divert materials from the landfill and establish recycling opportunities. In the fall of 2021, the district sent a letter to the curbside communities. This letter was intended to provide open communication regarding the upcoming changes for standardizing our recycling agreements. This also gave communities the opportunities to seek alternative recycling options. The district needed to standardize these agreements so we could offer the best service while keeping the district staff and our Portage County recycling residents safe and as drivers and trucks were in short supply. Some Portage County townships were already at the $5.50 rate and every other week service level, so standardizing began in 2022. Things to keep in mind about our district. The district provides service to many communities that private haulers will not service since there is not a trash bid in place. A neighboring community pays $6 a month for smaller carts and every other week service. In 2021, the district collected over 18 million pounds of single stream recycling. In addition to the curbside program and the drop-off collection program, the district has resumed hosting special events. In the fall of 2021, we collected over 40,000 pounds of electronics. This spring, we held a spring recycling day that collected tires, electronics, and offered residential shredding. The district continues to collect used motor oil and antifreeze. And lastly, the district is continuing to look into additional programs to benefit the residents of Portage County, including a household hazardous waste collection day.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for members of the public that are in attendance, is there any public in attendance? Those wishing to testify meaning give evidence as a witness concerning the standardization rates during these public hearings are now asked to please stand and raise your right hand and repeat after me. Is there any public? Once Diane, you're the only public, so I know. Okay, all right, we'll move it right along. Okay, that takes us to public comment. And I do have to say that for any member of the public in attendance at these hearings who simply want to give his or her comments or opinions, you need to be sworn in as a witness and are free to provide your comments and opinion after those who desire to testify as witnesses have been provided his or her testimony. So at this time, I will, if anyone wishes to share your comments, please come forward to the podium or to this chair here, I will say, and speak directly into the microphone. The board requests all persons speaking to be civil and respectful of each other and to speak on the relevant matter at hand in order to allow all those who want to testify to be able to have the opportunity to do so. We ask that each person speaking try to stay within 3 to 5 minute time frame. Please state your name for the record. Is there anyone who wishes to have public comments? Okay, I do not see any. Okay, the Board of Commissioners received written objection at this time, no written objection at this time. Any written endorsements or objections to the standardization rate charge that have not been heard today will be received by the Portage County Board of Commissioners for a period of 5 working days after the final public hearing scheduled on September 15, 2022. Please direct your correspondence to Portage County Commissioner's Office. Attention Commissioner's Clerk at 449 South Meridian Street, Ravenna, Ohio, 44266. Is there any general comments for the good of the order? Does the board have any additional comments, questions? I do not.
I think what you've done is
Great
awesome.
job.
I live in Aurora and we're about $2.50 over what we're charging there. And they missed collections last week. So you're doing great.
Yes. All right. The next public hearing dates are as follows: Thursday, September 8th, 2022 at 10:30 a.m. and Thursday, September 15th, 2022 at 10:30 a.m. in the Board of Commissioners meeting room on the 7th floor of the Portage County Administration Building located at 449 South Meridian Street, Ravenna, Ohio, 44266. I'd just like to say in closing, thank you for coming. The board appreciates your time and concerns about the very important issue at hand. At this time, the public hearing regarding the standardization rates and charges for the Portage County Solid Waste Management District has concluded. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the motion carries. We will go ahead and reconvene back into the commissioners' regular sessions. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay, so that takes us to Grant Administrator Allison.
Yeah. right, so. A while back, when we were going over the water resource projects that you guys had previously approved with ARPA.
Yeah.
Water Resources had let me know that the Hannum Crossing Sewer and the Rivermore Sewer were two projects that they kind of wanted to reevaluate. So what they have done is present the Brimfield Sewer Rehabilitation, which would take, this single project would take the place of Hannum and Rivermore,
Okay.
because everything going on with this Brimfield sewer is just far more pressing. And they think that these funds would be much better utilized if they get this project done first, and then we can revisit Hannum and Rivermore later.
What is there different in cost from replacing the two projects to this one? Or
They're
where
gonna
does that
take the
stand?
funds from Hannum and Rivermore that were
Okay.
approved and put them together, and that's gonna be the total for Brimfield, so
And
there
that's
is no
enough.
change.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
And it's
perfect.
the exact same concept of the sewer rehabilitation, it's just in a different place that needs it more, needs it sooner.
Okay, sounds good. Does anyone have any questions? If not, go
Good.
ahead. Tim.
Board of Commissioners acknowledges the receipt of the Board of Commissioners directs the portion of the county's coronavirus local fiscal recovery fund payment to the county's COVID-19 response, authorizing American Rescue Plan Act Fund expenditure for WT 06.
Second,
Roll call, Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes,
Sabrina,
Yes.
Board of Commissioners acknowledge the receipt of the August 26, 2022 correspondence from Portage County Board of Elections notifying that the galley proof of the ballots for November 8, 2022 election are on display September 7th through September 8th, 2022 during regular business hours, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in accordance with the ORC 3505-114.
second,
roll call, Tony,
Yes,
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
thank you, Miss Allison.
All right,
Thank
thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. And for your last meeting.
Yes, thank you guys so much for
Yes.
everything.
We will miss
Seriously.
you.
I'm gonna miss this
We're
too.
gonna
I
be
mean,
sad.
I wouldn't be able to go where I'm going if I didn't have your support and this opportunity.
And
So I really appreciate it.
I do have my food.
Okay. And I'll be back for lunches
Yes.
when we get.
Oh, sure.
County Administrator,
Oh, no, we
Yeah,
got
we're
one
gonna
more
do miscellaneous.
miscellaneous. We'll do that and then we can do Michelle.
the Board of Commissioners signed the September 8, 2022 correspondence to Portage County Auditor Jen Esposito, including a listing of the final certification of delinquent accounts for sewer water services billing through August 22, 2022. In accordance with the Ohio Revised Code, section 6117.02, as presented by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second,
Roll call. Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes. All right, Miss Michelle, you want to go now?
Sure, so I'd like to talk about Operation Greenlight. And this is,
I think Rich wanted to come up.
Does Rich want to come?
Yeah.
He said Rich wanted to
Rich
come up?
we
McCullen.
can, but I mean, this isn't really from the Veterans Department, this is the Board of Commissioners.
Yeah,
Project.
Just
but-
if we want to do it. I
Absolutely,
think
it's
it'd be good.
It's a federal government
Yes.
program.
No.
Yeah, well,
We-
Rich can come up.
Of course, absolutely.
I thought he wanted to just hear.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, that's not normal. Sorry.
You know, like the different colors they put on houses, people had, it's not for, this is green light for veterans they're talking about. The green, the blue and the red lights on people's houses that people started doing a couple years ago. Do you remember what each color meant?
Blue
Blue
is police, red
Blue
is
is
fire.
police.
Red fire, green
And I thought
fire.
green was something else besides veterans.
Oh, I don't know, I've only read veterans.
Red was for fire.
Mhm.
And blues, police.
Remember what the green light was? Cause I've seen those already.
I've heard green light this. Oh,
That's red light there.
Oh, my.
Wait, what did you say? Did I have missed it?
Oh, my.
Yeah, let's recess until Rich gets, I'm gonna run first. I don't think there's anything, we've covered everything, we just gotta wait for Rich. Did you get a hold of him? Yeah, they're calling, but I paid him, or asked him to, okay. You coming? Diane. Oh, Diane. I'm joining.
How's your husband?
He's good. Yeah, he went back to work.
He did.
Today.
We're back on screen.
Okay, come on up, Diane. Okay, and now Miss Michelle is gonna tell us about the green light.
Okay, so green light is a way in which we can honor our veterans and veterans' families for both. So what I would ask or recommend is that the Board of Commissioners agree to illuminate the buildings in support of the veterans. It's a green light. We could also encourage our residents to show a green light. And this is a new project that was started across the state. And let me read exactly what it says. So Operation Greenlight's mission is to show support for veterans of all military conflicts, as well as raise awareness about the unique challenges faced by many veterans and their families, and the resources that are available at the county, state, and federal level to assist veterans and their families. So it's really just to show recognition and appreciation.
Show
for our
support.
veterans and
Yep.
families.
When we say illuminate with the green light, what are we talking about for the county?
We have some outside lights that we could put green in.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
switching them out. And I could have more specifics on that, but that's.
We're not gonna look like.
They are doing it across Ohio. They're both different
Big
counties.
spotlight.
We do a spotlight, I mean, whatever.
If we, when we talk about the administrative building, can we do that at the courts as well? Outside lights?
I would have to check with Judge Pittman at the Ravenna Court and maybe Judge Boland, I don't know, but I will check into that.
I'd like to see all the
No,
county.
big
lights.
houses in Kent now.
Thank you. Okay, so we invite everybody, I think, but it has to start with the Board of Commissioners.
And how long do we do the green light for?
So that's a good question. Currently, you have some that do it year round. That would not involve a spotlight, okay? Then you have others that don't start until October. And then in particular, which is what I would recommend, is focus on the week of Veterans Day,
Veterans
which would
Day,
be
yeah.
the week of November 7th to the 13th. You could end it on the 11th if you wanted, but in particular, definitely, I would light up all the buildings on November 11th. If you're gonna do a spotlight.
I'd like to see the courts do that too, because that's where the ceremony will be.
I could reach out to them.
Yeah, I'd like.
I don't think Judge Whitman,
No, I don't
she was the big driver behind the memorial there, so I'm
Mhm.
sure she'll be in
Yeah, I-
support of it and Fankhausen will.
Well, I think we can invite everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so when should we start? I understand it can start in October, but maybe it'll have more of an impact though if we just do it the week of Veterans
That's
Day.
This is the second choice.
That's what I'm suggesting, is
Okay,
November
let's
seventh
do
through the
that,
13th.
yeah.
And if you wanna do a spotlight, do you wanna just do a spotlight in the evening hours, maybe? Do you wanna do it the whole week, or do you wanna just do the spotlights on the 11th?
I would do the whole week.
Yeah.
And then get with Joanne and get that coordinated
Absolutely.
as far as.
I will bring a resolution to do this. I will also have a press release for you. So if you could wait until I get the press release over to you, that would be ideal. And then we will go from there, if the board's on board.
Diane, did you have anything you wanted to add to that? Are you guys familiar with Green Light?
I am, yeah. Jerry actually forwarded me an article that was in the newspaper a couple weeks ago and I read about it. That's so I knew exactly what you're talking about when Amy sent that to me that we need to, which just happened to be in a meeting, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we actually,
So how are they doing it? Were they doing it October through Veterans Day?
it
Like,
was
how
kind
did
of just
they-
a blurb that said, this is something new that, you know, it was, I think it was on the Record Courier. That's what it was, like 3 weeks
Did you
ago.
do an article on that?
I didn't. I will forward my email to Amy so you guys can see it.
Yeah, yeah. But I think the week of Veterans Day would be
Absolutely.
awesome.
I agree.
I think it'll showcase more so.
Yes.
So you can let Rich know we're gonna be illuminating us in green. And then we'll get with, what's that?
It's the USA Today Network.
Oh, that's right.
I'll send notification out to all.
That's
county
awesome.
departments now
I
that-
love that. That's great. I love that. Okay, we have, the only thing left
That's it.
today is the
Diane,
executive
thanks
session
for
and
coming up.
public comment. Do we have any public comment so far? No.
In accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G1, the Board of Commissioners moves into executive session to consider the employment of public employee.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes,
Vicky,
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes. We'll just have to keep. it
it's the
right at
same
11.
thing again. Pick your belongings up, move on.
Have a good day.
You too, Mike. Have a great afternoon.
Oh. Expecting any action or anything?
We're gonna come out of executive session.
Yeah, there's no public comment.
No problem.
Absent.
All right.
No, I was here for the.
Okay,
green
hold
light.
on just a second. Okay, I'll make a motion to come out of executive session. Roll call?
Sabrina,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Their action?
No action. Is there any public comment today, Amy?
No.
No, no.
Okay.
Diane filled in for you. She's cuter than you are, so. you-
Well, that's, I won't argue that either.
We did support the project, so we will move.
Okay, I don't know what all she told you because I was
Nothing.
with Geraldine Nelson
Oh,
in my office there. But there's more to it than just turning on green lights.
Okay.
They're looking for support. They have letters that, prefab letters to fill out for support of the green light.
Okay.
It's not just
and who do they want us to send the letters to?
congressmen, senators, that sort of thing. I printed these out.
We'd all be in agreement to
Sure.
do that.
I printed these out. There's also a letter to an editor if you want to put it in the newspaper type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's what you were gonna
you have all this.
I wanted to get an interest from the board.
Right, absolutely.
And we can move forward with that, but yes, there are some templates out there. that-
Yeah.
So Rick,
So-
when you say congressmen, senators, state level, federal level,
Federal level.
have they heard, I take it, they've heard this thought process?
Oh, yeah, it's a
Oh,
federal
yeah.
program.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we're looking, actually, I'm bringing this up to my board here
Mhm.
this week concerning this. So asking if they're wanting to have me fill out these forms and get them sent up.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a whole lot of time to spend on it because of all the fair and the PACT Act and Camp
Yeah.
Lejeune. It's been,
Well, the good news is.
our office has been
We
swamped.
are all on board
Yes.
and
Cool.
we're willing to send letters
Okay,
and.
well,
support
you said you already
veterans.
got the pre-format letters, so,
And we'll send
Cool.
it to the Congress and to the two senators, Brown and Portman this
Mhm.
time.
However, if you would like to make yours from your board, you and your. board,
well,
then
yeah, we're
we
probably
can
gonna do it separately,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I wanted to,
You are. But
I
you
wanted
let
to
your
just-
board know that this
Yeah, you're
board supports
all on it,
100%.
so,
We
okay,
are all-
cool.
I had the great
Appreciate that.
opportunity to spend less than 6 hours on Camp Lejeune, my 10-year career. But
How did you
Let's-
get out of that for boot camp?
they sent, in 1975, all the Marines from from Rhode Island, they sent to Camp Pendleton, and all the Marines that came out of San Diego sent to Lejeune.
Yeah, because
They
Rick
want-
went to Lejeune.
They want, everybody did, and they wanted, there's a difference between West Coast and East Coast Marines. And they wanted to start integrating us, so. You know,
Okay,
Yep.
so is
Already
there
on this.
anything else to come before the board?
no, ma'am.
Cool.
I'll entertain an adjourn.
No.
Motion to adjourn. I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, Amy?
Sabrina,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
All right. We get lunch.
Well, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
They're-
And
Like I
that's
said,
it.
Yeah, we. didn't
somebody
know.
came in
Yeah, I didn't know you were.
and,
moving forward with that, but This is something from the board, so.
Yeah,
well-
they announced it,
Definitely work with
our meeting, our
Yeah.
association meeting. of the
well,
week.
yeah, but what I was saying is that they didn't tell me that it was starting right then and I already had somebody in my office, so I was like,
It was the last moment.
so,
Yeah.
not a problem.
Okay,
Oh.
we appreciate, it. We got it covered.
And you guys have any questions, give me a call on that, so.